Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We are along the Paracel Islands in the South China Sea. Frank, on a mission here today. What can you tell us about this course?
Well, one thing, Rich, we don't want to fatigue out there, so I've got my battle gear on. Interesting layout ahead. Plenty of water. The island's there to be negotiated, navigated, and you never know what just might pop up during the course of the game.
And partner, let me just, before we get started, salute you.
I salute you too, Rich. You ready?
Ready. Aim.
Fire.
All right, Frank, here we go on the first hole, set for, dare I say, takeoff from this aircraft carrier.
Well, that's right, Rich. You really got to make sure that you get the right flight on this shot coming in because you want it to land soft on this opening hole. It's 186 yards to the middle of the green. Obviously, there's those palms and trees to the left of this green that have to be avoided. And, of course, you don't want a beach on the right.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Headed for home and in. What a tremendous putt. Good spot to be in, fresh off a birdie.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you start to feel like you've got the game in hand.
Now to the second hole, Frank, and just a look here. This green is clearly very heavily guarded.
Yeah, you notice that guard shack on the right there. Well, you better keep your head down because we're not sure whether or not that guard shack is actually empty.
Could be a dangerous shot here at the second.
And left, trees, a little bit of sand. There is the bridge as well.
Frank, what's ahead after missing the par 3 here?
Well, a tricky little shot coming up, but really this is a difficult par 3. So if you can get this up and down, it still won't be a lost cause.
And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Frank, I thought that was in. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. And getting ready for the putt. Even par early on.
Whoops. Alert, alert, alert.
Frank, I've heard of a strong wind coming from out of the south-southeast, but this is something I've never seen.
Nearly destroyed this par 3.
Frank, I know you love boxing as I do. McIlroy has that big punch knockout ability. It has you on the edge of your seat because you know at any moment he might end the fight.
Yeah, there's always a spark there, or a little simmer, and you think it's just going to burst into flames at one stage and just ignite Rory over any stretch of holes.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. Frank surveying this hole. It appears as though your normal laser or rangefinder won't be good enough.
Well, we could always radio in the yardage there, but the radio tower, personally, I prefer sonar.
That's well played, and now a good look at birdie. He'd love to get this one. Big putt for birdie. Two's always better than one when you're counting birdies in golf.
Blind tee shot, got to go over those two rocks in front of you. Just keep it right of those palms in the distance. Surely not.
Put it close. He'll be looking at about 15 feet for birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Frank had the touch of a plumber right there.
Yeah, you'd like a redo, wouldn't you? Wake up, wake up!
Not a gimme, but well within his range. That's a solid par putt. Frank here at the 6th, a really fascinating hole.
It is mid sort of 200 yards, shared greens, a bit like St. Andrews. But because you're hitting it over an island, you're almost going to have to parachute this tee shot in here and get it to land softly. There's a lot of things going on behind to the left and the side. It's like a little village that you're heading into. Hopefully you don't need a passport.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Birdie try up next. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Surprise, surprise.
I tell you, just when you thought things were going to go the other way.
Frank, looking at this hole, a player is going to need a detailed map from high above, maybe from the bomber squadron flying overhead, just to get a sense of what they're trying to navigate.
You can always go up in one of those two lookout towers, just check the direction of the wind, see which way it's coming from, but not an overly long par 3.
Terrific golf shot, and now that for an easy birdie. As this putt for birdie. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Partner, look at that. Left here at the 8th hole. You and I could shoot a little hoop. You want to play a little donkey?
Yeah, it's very observant of you, Rich. Also, the barracks just up ahead that protect the left side of this green. So there's a lot of visual intimidation on this par 3. Follow the sandy trail, and there's green at the end.
Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Frank, see if he can get the hat trick here.
Oh, things are looking so good. Strokes good, swings good. Let's see if it goes in.
So to 4 under with a second straight birdie. Rounding out this front 9 mission here, the 9th hole, shot over the building.
I need to be careful. The front left of the screen is guarded by a tower, and anything right, you'll be ducking for cover in the trenches.
Been a real battle out here today. Just need to keep it all together. Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Oh, what an incredible shot. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag.
That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I tell you, a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
The 11th hole is a short one here at Paracel Storm. Frank, a pretty good looking little hole.
125, one of the shortest on the golf course. You tee off just out there by the coast and then head it over the seawall. So really it shouldn't be that much of a problem for the players playing here. If you're worrying about the wind, there's two weather vanes down there, so it's easy to look up and get an accurate indication of which way it's blowing today.
This long putt for birdie could be a tough one here. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Putt for par. He needs one. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, the 12th hole here at Paracel Storm at 241 yards, island green. I can't think of a harder par 3 in the world.
This hole, you really have to be wary on the direction of the wind, because if it's coming off the island, then it's going to blow it towards the water. It's going to make this tee shot so much more difficult. Conversely, if you get a little sea breeze, it's going to help. It's going to hold it up there and make this whole play that little bit easier. Second shot.
Now to 7 under par. Here we are now at the 13th, and Frank, this is a stout-looking hole.
Rich, it certainly is. No time to be superstitious on number 13. The trenches, they protect the back and the right of this green. Anything left of that, time to call in the Navy. I tell you, those shoes at the end of the day, they're going to have so much sand in them.
Don't bring those home.
This will test his skill. You can play this shot a couple of different ways. Open the club face, but you've got to be careful. Most players just close that club face and chop down like an axe.
And he's made it onto the green now. Settles in over the putt. He'll take par and move on. Frank, here at the 14th, not a long hole, but not a big green either.
It almost lulls you into that false sense of security. You just see the green, it stands up like an old sand dune. The beach around doesn't seem to be that problematic. A few trees behind, really, they just give you a nice line. But beware of what looks straightforward.
Looks sort of like a deserted island, Frank. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
8 under par for the round. Now to the 15th, and Frank, where exactly is the green here?
Well, I think you need the Jungle Book to try and decipher this one. A little short par 3 up and over there. There is a green in amongst that jungle, and even the green has its own little mini jungle in it.
This is one of my favorite holes on this golf course. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length. Rack up another one.
Sixteenth hole here at Paracel Storm, and Frank, as we begin this closing stretch, strikes me, this is tough guy golf out here, isn't it?
Well, it certainly is. You want to earn your stripes by playing this golf course. This is the place to be. In the spirit of conservation, we have some solar panels to boost up the finish, and the hole not overly long. Let's see what the lieutenant can do this time.
Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A third straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Trying to grind out a par here. Needs it. He's made it. Seventeenth hole now at Paracel Storm. And Frank, as we come toward the end of this round, you really want to salute the caddies as well as the players.
That's right. They've gone out there with meal packs today and canteens to make sure that there's the right amount of sustenance. But if you're looking for victory, then a strong finish is needed. Good chance for a birdie here at 17. You've got to traverse, obviously, the water there, and without the help of the Navy today, this is going to have to come in nice and high and soft, a little bit like a paratrooper coming in down there to avoid all those trees and palm trees that protect the front and the right side of this par 3.
Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
And getting ready for the putt. Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. Frank, the job is almost complete here at the 18th hole, and a good job at that, as we have seen some spectacular golf here at Paracel Storm in the South China Sea.
Just one more battle ahead, the difficult 18th. Should they succeed, then I think they're worthy of a salute. That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. And he's made the green. Nine under for the round. Frank, you have to like what you saw out there today.
I certainly did. Swing is excellent right now. Stroke, there's nothing wrong with that. Really, just it's a case of getting out of your own way. I mean, the opportunities ahead now, chance to win, just they have to be so motivating.